Is it dark yet?
Yes.
Please, light the candle.
What for?
For a blessing. Please.
Alice reluctantly passes the candle and matches.
Did you bring water?
Yes.
Please fill the glass.
She does so and hands it to Ruth, who in turn lights the candle. Ruth snuffs out the candle in the glass of water.
Havdalah.
What did you say?
Havdalah.
You said more.
I said Havdalah.
I heard more. How do you...
My friends.
What friends?
Jewish friends.
Jewish friends? Where?
Here.
When?
Before this.
Before. I want to go back to before. And you had Havdalah with them?
Yes.
And you remember the blessing?
Yes. Stop interrogating me.
Don't lie to me. Not here. Not now.
You're
You're a Jew?
What? No. No.
You're a Jew.
Don't be absurd.
How is this possible?
It's not what you think. Let go of me. You're not in your right mind.
You're a Jew.
Get away from me. You stink.
Say it. I'm a Jew.
Some things you can't forget.
What? Being a Jew? They don't let you forget. Not for a moment. Say it.
No, the blessing I tried to forget.
How is this possible? You walk on earth. I hide like a snail in the dirt.
Promise you won't name me. You won't call me out. I'll hide you here as long as you need, but please, promise me you won't tell them if they find you.
How did this happen? How can you live above ground, in the open, breathing air and tasting the first spring? Where's your mama?
She died.
And your papa?
He died of typhus in the ghetto.
The ghetto. Which ghetto?
The little ghetto, south of Klodatstrasse.
We were in the little ghetto.
I was also in the breadline watching the boy with his puppy.
I don't remember you. Your face. I remember every face from the ghetto like a stamp on my brain.
I was there. Tomorrow, the boy will not be here.
I don't believe you. You're trying to trick me, to get me to surrender.
I'm not trying to do any such thing. If I wanted them to catch you, I'd drag you out of the hole and deliver you to the Germans, but I won't.
Because you'd be found out too.
Oh, no, because I care.
Liar.
About what happens to
Liar.
you. Ruth, lower your voice.
Because you're a Jew.
Yes. And my husband.
Say it then. I'm a Jew.
We're Jews. I'm a Jew.
This is a trick. You're trying to trick me. You work for them.
That's absurd.
But how did you get here? Above ground with the Germans.
One day, I was herded onto the train with the others. My uncle was there too. Couldn't breathe. There was this girl and her mama in the back of the train. She had this beautiful lace-embroidered handkerchief with a tiny iris on it. She was coughing and coughing into her beautiful lace handkerchief. Her mother's arms were wrapped around her so tight I thought they were going to break. She was trying to console her, but also trying to stifle her cough. She smiled at me in between her gasps. I remember thinking, how can she smile? There was an opening at the top of the train, a clear story. My uncle said I could make it through because of my size. I told him I was afraid. He said he could pick me up and push me through the hole. What about the girl, I said. What about the sick girl? She's sick. She'll die soon, or the Germans will find her and shoot her. You're strong. You have a new husband. There's still some hope for you. You have to stay alive. He picked me up onto his shoulders. The girl reached her hand with the white handkerchief up to me and waved. I couldn't look at her. Go, my uncle shouted, before it's too late. I told him I loved him and jumped out of the train. Like a cat, I landed on my feet and joined the others returning from work, heading back to the ghetto. That night, my husband and I made plans to get our papers and leave. We had a contact outside the ghetto who was able to get papers for some of the Jews.
So you are not who you say you are.
I never said who I wasn't.
You gave up your name? Your faith? Do you pray like a Christian?
We do what we have to survive, that's all.
Alice and Ruth stare intently at each other. Then, in a sudden move, Ruth leaps and begins to pull herself up. Alice wraps her arms around her waist and pulls her down. Ruth fights her.
Let me go! Let me go!
Are you crazy? They'll kill you. You can't leave now.
Let go of me! I want to be free. I want to feel the wind and the sun on my face. Let me go!
Just let go, and we can talk.
No, you can't tell me what to do. You turned your back on us. All of us. I want to walk above ground like you. It's my turn now.
What are you talking about?
I want to see the light of day.
Ruth, I can't let you go. You won't make it.
You stay here now and see what it's like. Give me your papers. I can play the part of a Gentile too.
You're talking crazy things now. You're younger than me. It's not your picture on the documents, not your husband. I did what I had to do to survive. Just like you. You're surviving in this hole so you can be free one day.
I'll never be free again. I'll die here. On Polish soil. Not even on holy ground. So what's the difference? If I die in some ditch, or rot here in this lousy hole?
You're tired. You'll feel better when you rest and eat. Come, I'll stay with you until you fall asleep.
Ruth lets go.
It's not fair. Just a child. I had a good life. I had a mama and a papa. They took all of that away from me. It's all gone.
Come, rest in my arms. I'll cover you.
Alice spreads the blanket over Ruth.
Do you remember the Shema?
Of course.
Will you say it?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Elohai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod Malkuto, Leolem Vayed.
To dream of my soul and the souls of my family meeting in Palestine.
The next morning, on the verge of daylight, Ruth slips out of Alice's arm and carefully climbs above ground, taking the food with her. She makes her way to the sunflowers.
Adonai, I lift myself to the sun and the wind like this beautiful flower. Into your light I surrender myself. Wherever you go, I go.
Ruth moves off. Alice awakes, finding Ruth and the food missing.
Ruth? Ruth?
She scrambles in the dirt and finds the small doll given to Ruth by Ava in the ghetto. She crawls out of the ground.
Ruth? Ruth? Ruth?
She crawls back into the hole.
Shmish.
2 days later, almost daybreak, Ruth appears at the hole with an armful of potatoes, tomatoes, and bread.
Alice? Alice? Alice, I know you're there.
You shouldn't be here. Go away.
I know I shouldn't. But I'm here. I brought you food. No scraps.
Where did you get the bread?
She drops the food into the hole.
I took it from your table.
My table.
Yes.
You went into my home?
Yes. I bathed in your tub. I laid in your bed. I ate your food. God forgive me. I wanted to feel the touch of white linen against my skin.
My husband?
Was at work. But I watched him during the night.
What is he doing?
Looking for you. Gathering his belongings. You can't stay here.
I know, but I cannot move.
He'll shoot you like a dog in this hole. And then they'll shoot him. They'll find him and they'll shoot him if you stay.
Perhaps we're better off dead, living the lives we've been living.
Where you go, I will not. I will run into the night, to Palestine, where I will never, never have to hide in a hole to light candles again. Never again. Goodbye, Alice. Or whatever your name is. May God be with you.
Wait! Take me with you.
No, I cannot. You had your chance. You made your choice.
But I can make it again. Can I not have a second chance? Is God not merciful?
God is merciful. He led me here, to greener pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters.
He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Yes, though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Come away with me, Alice. Far away from all this death and the shroud of deceit.
Through the valley of death,
You will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
to hide in the woods like an animal.
To rot in a hole, or die having lived a lie.
What about Hans?
He can come with. We will join up with the resistance.
He will not. He is more fearful than I am, more damaged.
He will, Alice. He will taste his freedom.
You are young. Your spirit has not been broken, trampled, but not broken.
Alice, you speak in the tongue of
A coward? Yes, I am.
Break free from this cowardice. Take back your dignity, your identity, your soul.
I cannot.
Redeem yourself. Now is the moment. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life.
We will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I must hold on to this.
You must go, alone. Shemesh is upon us.
Ruth reaches her arm down the hole.
Goodbye, Alice. May God be with you.
Alice holds Ruth's hand.
And with you.
Ruth breaks her hand free and runs into the night.